Master Robot.
So, I now understand the people who were really upset and felt really betrayed when Creepshow Art was getting exposed. So, just like all of those guys, I'm gonna be saying these are just allegations and a lot of this is alleged, and I also don't want to believe it. So first I want to say, hey everybody, I'm just a robot. If you have seen my older videos, you know I used to use this robot voice, and if you missed that voice, check the pinned comment or the description for the exact same video as this one, but with the robot voice. SethTheProgrammer is a pretty famous and infamous person in the power scaling community. For those of you who don't know what power scaling is, welcome to the internet, Grandpa. Power scaling is basically when people take characters from pop culture, and they talk about who would win in a fight with another character from pop culture. Sometimes they talk about what this character can do, like they can lift buildings, or they can blow up planets. Or they say if character A can beat character B, and character B can beat character C, then character A can also probably defeat character C. If you've seen Death Battle, you probably know what power scaling is. If you don't know what power scaling is, check out my other channel, Fast Fictional Fights. It's like Death Battle, but even better.
Lego your ego.
Seth is one of, if not the greatest power scaler out there. He has debated several people, done multiple debunking videos. His videos are well edited, well written, and almost every single power scaler I know has major respect for the guy. Or, at least they used to. Many people I have met through SethTheProgrammer, such as Noodles, who I collabed with on my first episode of Fast Fictional Fights, WebCamParrot, who helped me out with my all versions of Goku versus all versions of Superman video series. Oh god, I still need to make the last part of that series. Shit. Not gonna lie, I forgot all about it. And just recently I discovered the channel of Surfbone. Noodles got into contact with me and shared a document about SethTheProgrammer. And before I get into the document, I just want to say this is really hard for me to talk about. I mean, I like SethTheProgrammer, I've chatted with him a few times, same with Noodles and WebCamParrot, and while I've never spoken with Surfbone, he makes pretty good videos. But unfortunately, no matter what happens, someone is going to come out looking like the bad guy in this situation, and I don't want it to be any of them. I'm a dyslexic, autistic retard, and I can't read for shit, so I'm going to have my autistic master race friend Joshua read out the document.
What? Hello everyone. I have thought about making this document several times over the last few years, but I chose to remain silent for reasons I will elaborate on later. I kept my silence for a long time, but after recent events and new questionable information that has come to light, I decided to speak out and expose another Deegan. The recent events involve my friends and the disgusting actions of the YouTuber SethTheProgrammer, his Discord server, and some of the people he associates with. Originally, I wasn't going to make this thread, but the information that has been stacking up is something that could no longer be overlooked. I decided it would be unfair of me to remain silent, so I will be exposing all of the degenerate and possibly illegal actions committed by Seth and some members of his community. I want to provide evidence supporting the doxing claim first, as this is the most damaging. Seth decided to dox one of his own script writers and researchers known as Noodles Scales over something I'll elaborate on further down the thread. Seth not only gave out Noodles' private Instagram account, which has his real name on it, but he also tried to get a known doxer named Jade, who was 14 at the time that this occurred, to call Noodles' employer in an attempt to get him fired. This is Seth giving out the real name and private Instagram account.
I know his full name, by the way. Now, to play devil's advocate, maybe this person isn't Seth. Maybe this is just someone with the name Seth on Discord. I've seen plenty of people fake evidence with screenshots, so this doesn't prove anything so far. But let's keep looking through this document.
This is Seth trying to get Jay to call Noodles' employer.
Unless there's 2 or more Little Caesars in city. He's lying because he said the place was closed, but it's not. City is very small too, lol. Like population of 4,000 people.
I told you, he lied to protect himself. You should still try to call those guys.
This is Jay dropping someone's IP address.
I really like the comment up above. Listen, the white man has been on top for too long. By the way, guys, guess what? I'm sick again. Feels like every time drama hits, I start getting sick. It really fucking sucks.
And this is Jade admitting to doxing under the alt name Matthew.
Now, I don't know if this is the same person. I mean, they are going under a different name after all. So this really doesn't prove anything, but as we go further on in the doc, the evidence does start to get a lot better.
The screenshots above should already show how Seth is a malicious person. However, Seth didn't stop at that. Here is Seth outright saying that he wanted to get Noodles banned off YouTube and Discord so that he couldn't make any money or grow a platform, even though he knew Noodles wanted to do that.
It's fine. These are to be sent to Discord. They fucked up bad. I might be able to terminate all their shit now. Head ass. That's good. YouTube's included, mainly Noodles, but Parrot, a 10% chance. They could just make alts. No, once you're banned on YouTube, you'll never come back. YouTube will ban every account confirmed to be you. You will never make money on there again, or grow. Noodles wants to get rich and make a job of YouTube. Well, that's false. I mean, Monkey Jones still has a YouTube channel, and he's been deleted pretty fucking hard.
This is Jade basically admitting the same thing about Seth in the YouTube comments of one of Seth and Noodles' videos. Noodles isn't the only person to get doxxed. His mother did as well. After Noodles got doxxed, Jade dropped Noodles' mother's phone number, and people were starting to use her face as their PFP and even admitting to it. Here's Jade posting Noodles' mother's phone number. And this is a user named Tyga using Noodles' mom as his PFP.
At Noodles, don't show, so show up on his mother's call log. And also there's an at everyone on that. Yeah, maybe they're putting up a random person's phone number, but because they're adding at Noodles, the chances of it being Noodles' mother's phone number just went up to like 99%. And involving someone's family in internet drama, that's just wrong.
There are also 2 recordings of Seth that help reinforce exactly what I'm saying. The first recording is Seth admitting that another user and known doxer of the community named Leon was the one who grabbed my Instagram and basically admits that he was involved.
You know how I allegedly doxed him? By him publicly commenting with his real name on his Instagram under Clyde's shit when Leon looks at his fucking Clyde's Instagram and sees him commenting, bro. So
yeah, that was literally Leon who did it.
So,
totally
bro, we whipped out the grabber link for that one. Like, it wasn't his public fucking name on his Instagram on Clyde's DMs, bro. Not DMs, on his public post, like, with his face.
Okay, now, while I can use the excuse of, hey, I don't think this guy is Seth, maybe it's just someone using, Seth's name. This is clearly Seth's voice. I've heard it multiple times, and, unless somehow Noodles got someone who can imitate his voice perfectly, yeah, this is pretty legit.
Here is one of Seth's best friends, Aeroflame, confirming that Leon was trying to get Noodles fired.
I'm pretty sure there's a recording out there of Leon just doing it spontaneously in the middle of a call. Like, Noodles was talking shit, and Leon responded, "Shut up, bitch, before I call your job and get you fired."
The second clip is Seth literally admitting that he was digging up information on Parrot, or more commonly known as a YouTuber WebCamParrot during the Cold War, and then goes on to say that a certain someone gave him Parrot's full name, and that he now knows Parrot's full name.
And Parrot, here's something that's interesting, by the way. Noodles might be interested in this as well. So, I thought Parrot was in on the Cold War, so I was starting to dig up information on Parrot, right? Mm-hmm. And let me just tell you, certain individual was able to fucking give his full fucking name right off the bat, and I was like, what the fuck? So I actually know Parrot's full name because of this individual.
Now, to be fair, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for Seth. I have a lot of the real names of YouTubers who have done videos on me. Not because I'm going to use it against them, but just because people have approached me and gave me the information. This is definitely going to be taken out of context, but doxing someone or having their dox is not wrong. Releasing that dox or trying to get that dox leaked so a whole bunch of people see it is wrong, especially when you use it to threaten someone.
This shows that Seth doesn't like doing his own dirty work and gets others to do it for him. He stoops so low to even manipulate children to do it. This is all just a way of him preventing any backlash. He shifts the blame to the actual doxers that he hired like he did with Leon. Here's proof that Leon is also a doxer. This is Seth pushing the blame onto others.
Now I do recognize this Discord name. Seth actually had this one. Of course, just like with someone using the name Seth on Discord, it still could be someone pretending to be him, but considering Noodles is having a conversation with this person, there's a high chance that this is the real Seth. It's just Seth saying, but other people doxed you. But then Noodles started pointing out that he posted the DMs and the recording. And Seth doesn't deny this, so it looks a little bit fishy. Let's say there's a YouTuber I'm beefing with, and they get doxed. If I post that dox so more people see it, in my book, that's still doxing.
But that's not all. During the Discord court case, Seth decided to dox Surfbone's face just for the sole purpose of making fun of him and bullying him.
So what I'm guessing is that either Seth or Clyde knew what Noodles' face looked like. So because Noodles used his real name and real face on Instagram when he commented on one of Clyde's posts, they discovered what his real name was. I've seen what Noodles looks like too. He kind of looks like a really inbred duke. That chin goes on for miles. Or for our international viewers, kilometers. And yes, to me this is doxing. I understand I said in my no bullshit video that when Brooks got his name quote-unquote doxed, it was because people found another channel of his that had tens of thousands of subscribers with his real name on it. But that's a bit different from just, commenting on someone's fucking Instagram.
He did apologize for making fun of it, but he never apologized for the face dox itself.
Surfbone, leave this thing alone. Don't talk to anybody about this again! Exclamation point. Hey, I wanted to say I'm sorry for making fun of your appearance during the court thing. I don't think I was in the wrong for recording or anything, but I do feel like attacking you on that appearance level was uncalled for. I'm gonna be real here, I think most people would rather have their appearance made fun of than being recorded without their consent. And I think even more people would be pissed off if their face was doxed.
There is a more disgusting situation I want to highlight that is also the reason why Noodles and Seth had a falling out. Seth is part of, and possibly was the one that orchestrated, a defamatory smear campaign against a small YouTuber known as Surfbone. Seth and his group were and still are claiming Surfbone as a rapist and rapey boy to the point that there were court cases in Discord. Now, just a quick explanation of the story. Surfbone told a story to Seth and Noodles in Seth's private server VC of the first time that he got drunk and had sex. Surfbone told this story very poorly the first time, saying exaggerated and hyperbolic statements, and Seth recorded it without anyone's knowledge. After this, Seth and his group decided to essentially hold a witch trial against Surfbone, trying to prove he was a rapist or that he was a liar about the situation, giving Surfbone a false dilemma where he can't win. Surfbone has explained and clarified the story multiple times since this recorded VC. The girl involved was more than happy to explain her side. She cleared his name and also confirmed that she was the one who initiated what happened between them. This video is of the girl explaining her side in a private VC that she consented to having recorded. The video has been edited to blur her username to protect her identity from any harassment that could be directed at her.
So, the situation with Surfbone, no, he's not a rapist. So what happened was we both went to a camping trip and drank way too much, and it was a shitty situation, don't get it twisted, but in no way is Surfbone responsible for what happened. I was the one who suggested it. He was in no way the initiator there. So, yeah, we've talked it out and everything's okay. So it's really no one else's business to get involved here.
However, this video and the clarification of the story, both of which Seth has seen and heard, are still ignored and overlooked to this day as it goes against the narrative he has painted.
It's not my fault.
It's always our fault.
Now, having coitus with someone while they're tipsy is not automatically a hot Cosby. I've had relations with a woman while she was tipsy, but we consented beforehand. I mean, even if the alleged victim doesn't think of themselves as a victim, then it's pretty cut and dry that Surfbone is innocent. But how do we know this is the same person? He could have just hired someone to do this. What kind of person would accept to doing something like this? I mean, if they leaked out that, oh, by the way, I'm not the same girl and Surfbone paid me to say these things, then it's just going to make Surfbone look way too guilty. And I think he's smarter than that.
Here's Seth calling Surfbone a rapey boy who he wanted to bully off on a whim. This is Seth backtracking and claimed that he was grandstanding the liar narrative. And this is Seth admitting that Surfbone isn't a rapist, just a liar. Here, Seth is trying to defend himself for privately recording Noodles and Surfbone. His defense was that Jade thought what Surfbone was saying was creepy, but Jade actually sent Noodles his DMs with Seth when Seth was trying to get him to say it so he could fake the evidence to Noodles and justify it through Jade. I also want to state that Noodles and Surfbone do not recall Jade being in the call when Surfbone told the story, nor were they aware that Jade heard Surfbone's story through the recording or by using an alt account in the call. This is Seth using Jade as an excuse to record the call. And here's Seth in Jade's DM telling him to agree with this made-up narrative. There are many other things I would like to bring up. However, I think this is more than enough to show that Seth is a terrible person and degenerate. He associates and contracts with doxers, is a doxer, will manipulate a child, and is willing to slander someone off on a whim for shits and giggles.
Now, a lot of this evidence is pretty decent, and I'm willing to wait for Seth to give his own statement about this. But assuming all of this is true, Seth is a big guy, and he's a pretty edgy YouTuber, so he's probably not going to get canceled. When you portray yourself as a nice guy and you get exposed for doing something bad, you get a lot more shit than if you portrayed yourself as an asshole. And Seth definitely portrays himself as an asshole. If you're PC, you're less likely to get canceled, but when you do get canceled, it's a lot more deadly. If you're edgy like Keemstar, yeah, you're gonna have a whole bunch of videos and a whole bunch of tweets made about you, but you're not gonna take a whole lot of damage. A lot of people are just gonna say, oh, Seth is being an asshole again, what else is new? The worst case scenario for Seth, if this is true, is this will cause a whole bunch of people to see blood in the water, and a whole bunch of people are gonna come for him all at once, revealing a whole bunch of shit that happened behind the scenes. But just like with Nostalgia Critic, I still like Seth's content and will still watch it. I would like to ask all of you watching this video to please not attack Seth, and wait until he makes a public statement. Now, assuming Seth is innocent and Noodles, Parrot, and Surfbone are lying, yeah, they're gonna get crushed. I mean, they're going up against Seth the fucking programmer. I think the best case scenario for all of this is that this is just a big misunderstanding and someone else is pulling the strings and manipulating everyone. I mean, everyone I know is getting exposed for shit left and right. It's kind of hard to keep up with it all. So I think you all need a break from this internet drama. Go check out my channel, Fast Fictional Fights. Shameless self-promotion for the win.
You sucked that guy's dick?
Yeah, how do you think I knew that he...
Wait, but you said you only had sex with 3 different guys. You never mentioned him.
Because I never had sex with him.
You sucked his dick.
We went out a few times. We never had sex, but we fooled around.
Oh my God, why did you tell me you only had sex with 3 different guys?
Because I did only have sex with 3 different guys. That doesn't mean I didn't just go with people.
Oh my God, I feel so nauseous.
I'm sorry, Dante. I thought you understood.
I did understand. I understood that you had sex with 3 different guys, and that's all you said.
Please calm down.
How many?
Something like 36.
Something like 36?
Lower your voice.
Wait, what is that anyway? Something like 36. Does that include me?
37.
I'm 37?
Going to class.
Oh my God. 37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?